Hey everyone, welcome back to Warhammer 2. I'm going to be playing the Dark Elves today. So we've got a Dark Elves versus High Elves. This is a little bit of a different build. So I'm going to be showing you how shades can be used if that's what you want to do. So shades are an interesting, unique unit. They're a hybrid melee infantry unit. So you do need to get a fair few volleys in before they go into melee. So the best armies for this particular build to fight against is, well, melee focused. So heavy, high cost infantry. So as you can see here, he has brought a lot of infantry. High cost Swordmasters of Hoeth and White Lions of Trace mixed in with some spears. And then he's only got 2 lots of archers that can kind of counter my Dark Shards. He's brought Tyrion, and then also a Lawmaster of Hoeth. I've brought with me a front line of shades. Shades with just ordinary shades, so with a single sword and a crossbow. And then in the middle, shades with great swords, as you can see there. So they're going to be great against infantry because they've got that infantry bonus. And then just to back them up, I've got some Cold One Knights to take on any cavalry that they may have. And then also a line of Bleak Swords and Dread Spears to make sure that this frontline infantry doesn't reach my Dark Shards too quickly. So let's see how this battle goes down. I have forward deployed my Dread Spear, my Shade, sorry, in order to try and take out as much of his front line as I possibly can before they get into me. And because the archers of the High Elves don't have a lot of armor piercing, they aren't doing that much damage. Unfortunately, his Illyrian Reavers did get into me fairly quickly on the left here, which was not what I intended. But I'm getting my Dread Spears into them as quickly as I possibly can too. On the right here, my Cold One Knights have engaged these Illyrian Reavers, so they're going to go down really quickly, and then no longer going to be a threat to me anymore. So, I've also got Marathi with us in order to help buff the Dark Shards in melee combat. So she's got, let's pause it for a sec, she's got these abilities here. We've got Soul Stealer, Power of Darkness to get her extra magic. Then we've got Pit of Shades to do damage to blobs. And finally, these are the abilities that I'm talking about. So the Heart Renderer and the Dark Sword, so that gives enemies -9 melee defense and melee attack. And then also this Enchanting Beauty, which gives them even less melee attack whenever they're within range of Marathi. So I can hover her over my Dark Shards, and that will give the enemy a bit of a debuff so that my Dark Shards can try and take out targets they may not usually be able to in melee combat. So I've also got Greater Arcane Conduit for even more magic, so I was able to cast a number of banishments, I believe, in this game, and some Soul Stealers, which would not normally happen considering the cost of those spells. So as you can see, I'm hovering Marathi over the melee battle here, and these guys are getting a major debuff to their melee attack and charge bonus. There you can see a banishment going down, taking out a number of their Swordmasters of Hoeth. Now the melee combat starts, because these spearmen have gotten into my Dark Shard line, my Shades line. A very good Flame of Aventok, I think it's called, from Tyrion, wherever Tyrion is at the moment. Ah, here we go, Tyrion here, Flame of Aventok, I believe it's called. Not sure, unfortunately I can't actually look directly at him, but yeah, I believe that ability is called the Flame of Aventok. It's fairly strong, and I have forgotten about my Cold One Knights, unfortunately. Oh no, there we go, I remember them just in time to get them away from those spears. And I have had to pull Marathi back because of these archers, and me not able to get into them as of yet. I believe I'm going to bring these Cold One Knights around. Yeah, here we go. They're charging in to try and take out these archers, which are firing upon my precious Marathi. So this does end up being quite a close battle still. So this build is fairly indicative of there needing to be a melee-centered army coming for you. If it's ranged, I have versed a number of High Elves that brought a large missile infantry focused army, and I just got slaughtered. So it is very dependent on the enemy's army. If they bring a counter, you will be countered very hard. So it can go very wrong very quickly, unfortunately. But that is the fun of these little quirky builds. And as you can see here, our spears are going up against their spears. Quite an even fight there. Whoop. And our shades have finally been routed there. The Illyrian Reavers came back, unfortunately, and charged back into a number of my shades, which was not good. And now it's just a matter of cleaning everything up. And another great Flames of Amantok. I'm sorry, I can't really remember all the names of those different spells, but a very good use of spells from Tyrion on the opposing team. Did some really harsh work to my shade line. And now it's just a matter of mopping up the dreads, the spearmen that are left, and hoping that all of these do not come back. So the white lines are traced coming back, but we've got plenty to take them on. So as you can see here, just a mop up now, chasing off everybody, and then we get the Pyrrhic victory. So as I said, this is a very situational dependent army. It can be done, as you've seen there, but you do need to be careful when you're bringing this type of army against enemies. It can be good against lizardmen because of all that armor piercing from the dread spears, and them generally being a melee centered army or a infantry centered army. So getting them to fire volley after volley into them and then retreat them slightly, and then get your spears and bleak swords in, and then set another volley off with your shades. So basically like a shoot retreat kind of play. But I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye!